Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about high intensity type training, Mike Mentzer type training, Dorian Yates type training. I got to ask the question if this is a potent magic system that's supposed to be so much better than everything else. Guys, before I get into that topic, I want to encourage you to stick around to the end of this video, find out how you can reach me with your questions and or comments. Excuse me. So the question is, hey man, I was listening to a video on YouTube and some guy said, dude, Dorian Yates is knocking it out with that type of training. It's the way to go. It's the most effective, most optimal training for muscle building. Just look at Dorian. Just look at him, man. It speaks volumes. It's optimal. That's the way to go. So the question is that the most optimal form of training? No, it's not. Now you're going to sit here and go, hey, look, you got this dolt on this video telling me he knows more than Dorian Yates. Well, I at least want you to entertain one idea here. Okay, let's not get into a size dispute. I've been lifting for 28 years, and you know, I'm not Dorian Yates. I'm not Mr. Olympia, but I do know a few important things. I work in the industry. I deal with hundreds of lifters, you know, more like 50 to 75 lifters a year these years. But over the years, I've worked with tons of pro bodybuilders. I've worked with tons of top fitness models. I've worked with a lot of figure competitors, female Olympians, top power lifters, you name it. I've been across the gamut. You know, I've talked to a lot of them. I've interviewed a lot of them. I've trained with a lot of them, and they're all big. Okay, they all have a lot of muscle size. Now let's just stick in the bodybuilding realm because this is specifically what we're addressing. In the bodybuilding realm, you know, I've talked with pros and Mr. You know, North Carolina to Mr. Minnesota, all the whole gamut, all the big names. I've spoken to Doug Miller on the phone. I've met Layne Norton. I've been there, done that with everyone, everything. Talked to Sean Clarita. Every possible name you could think of, 90% of them I've talked to. They all train differently. They're all big. Let that sink in. They all train differently. They're all big. They all train differently. They are all big. So, okay, you might be saying, well, that's natural bodybuilding. That's a different game. Okay, well, you look at the history of bodybuilding. Look at the history of bodybuilding. You go back to the full body era. You have the Reg Parks, you have the Steve Reeves, you have the John Grimex, you know, all the big guys that train full body style. You know, the Arnold era, Columbo and Arnold, and you know, so on, so forth, and so on, so forth. And even in the modern era, very few guys train like Dorian Yates. That's not discounting the training system. But the proof, the reality is that all training systems work as long as you apply consistency, as long as it's structured to you know, fit your specific needs, as long as you're eating enough food, you know, for your goals, you're using good exercise selection, you're pushing for progression, you're training smart, all that kind of good stuff. There is no magic workout system. Anybody that tells you so-and-so is better than so-and-so and such is better than such and such is typically they don't see the big picture. Okay, I'm not trying to put them down here, but they don't see the big picture. If guys, there is one training program out here that is more optimal than everything else, it's only going to be by a split percentage. It's going to be so trivial it doesn't matter to anybody, because when you take this magic program, even if it does exist, and you compare it to some less than optimal program, the guy on the less than optimal program that's busting his ass in the gym and eating enough food can outperform any optimal program any day if the guy doing the optimal program isn't working as hard. There's too many variables and too many factors, you know, in the muscle building process to just you know, to worry about optimization. Most decent programs will get you where you need to go. When I say decent, they have a track record. They're reasonable. A lot of people use them. They've been around for a while, and you know, they're nothing extreme. So, guys, when it comes to, you know, like heavy duty or Mike Mentzer or HIIT or that type of stuff, that will that work? If you apply it, obviously it'll work. It'll work. If you push for progressive resistance, use the right exercise, eat enough food for your goals, it's likely that it'll work. Is it the best system out there? There is no best system. I don't care what anybody says on the internet, off the internet, or whatever. Anybody that's trying to push a best system is usually trying to convert you to their system. There is no best system. There's a ton of very good systems out there. So how do you know which one to pick for your goals? Pick the one that appeals to you and that's level appropriate, and run with it for quite a long time. Get as strong as you can on it. Use progressive overload. Eat enough food to reach your goals, and don't miss workouts. And guys, I guarantee you will build muscle. This focus on optimization or magic training programs is simply lunacy. It's idiocy. It's misguided. Anybody that tells you one system is so far better than the others really is not taking a reasonable look at the big picture in the history of bodybuilding and seeing everybody trains differently. There's tons and tons and tons of systems. I've created 50 to 100 systems myself over the years. They all will work. They all will work. I've tried just about everything. They all will work. I've used rest pause, I use volume training. It all works. As long as you are consistent, you get stronger, you eat enough food, and all that kind of good stuff. So guys, I hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, there is a link below to a forum Q&A. Come on over, ask me any questions you want on strength training, muscle building, diet, nutrition, supplementation, and motivation. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.